We think billionaires feel safe. The truth is, wealth makes fear sharper, not smaller. Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, Elon Musk. At that level, money isn't the threat. Losing control is. In this video, you'll understand why extreme wealth breeds paranoia, how loss aversion rewires the mind, and why billionaires design their lives around avoiding surprise. The higher you climb, the fewer mistakes you're allowed to make. One decision can move markets. One sentence can trigger lawsuits. One error can erase decades. This is where wealth stops feeling like freedom and starts feeling like responsibility under a microscope. The wealthy don't fear losing money. They fear losing the ability to decide calmly. This is the core psychological burden of holding extreme wealth, and it dictates nearly every decision a billionaire makes. It's not about greed. It's about survival in a world where the stakes are unimaginably high. This fear isn't just a vague feeling. It's a well-documented psychological principle known as loss aversion. Loss aversion intensifies with wealth. When you have little, a loss hurts, but it's often a setback you can recover from. When you have a lot, a significant loss becomes identity-threatening. It challenges your sense of self, your competence, and your place in the world. This is why billionaires don't chase upside recklessly. They obsess over downside. Their primary focus isn't on making another billion. It's on not losing the billions they already have. They build moats around their fortunes, not to accumulate more, but to protect what exists. This protection isn't just financial. It's psychological. Every asset is a potential vulnerability, every partnership a potential risk. Paranoia isn't weakness at the top. It's adaptation. In an environment where everyone wants something from you, your time, your money, your influence, a healthy dose of suspicion is a survival mechanism. It forces you to question motives, to verify information, and to never take anything at face value. This isn't about being cynical. It's about being realistic. The world's most successful people understand that trust is a resource to be managed, not given freely. They operate in a state of prepared skepticism, constantly scanning the horizon for threats that others might miss. This is why they often have small, tightly knit inner circles. They're not being exclusive. They're managing their exposure to risk. Urgency hijacks cognition. This is a fundamental truth of human psychology. When we're under pressure, our brains default to fight or flight responses, and our ability to think rationally and strategically plummets. That's why the wealthy pre-build rules, buffers, and redundancies into their lives and businesses. They don't trust their own emotions in moments of stress, because stress is when fortunes disappear. They create systems and protocols for everything, from investment decisions to public statements. These rules act as a circuit breaker, preventing a single emotional reaction from causing a catastrophic cascade of failures. They rely on process over impulse, on systems over sentiment. This systematic approach is their defense against the single greatest threat to their wealth, their own human fallibility under pressure. Scarcity scares people with little. Uncertainty terrifies people with everything to lose. When you have nothing, your primary fear is not having enough. But when you have everything, your fear shifts. It becomes the dread of the unknown, the black swan event that could undo a lifetime of work in an instant. This fear of uncertainty drives the wealthy to control their environment to an extraordinary degree. They don't just want to predict the future. They want to engineer it. They invest in information, influence, and infrastructure to reduce the element of chance as much as humanly possible. This isn't just about financial markets. It's about their personal lives, their health, and their security. Every choice is a calculated move to minimize unpredictability. Billionaire paranoia shows up everywhere in ways both subtle and overt. You see it in the hidden homes and unlisted addresses designed to create a buffer from the public eye. You see it in the layered legal structures, the complex web of trusts and shell companies designed to protect assets from litigation and seizure. You see it in their quiet lifestyles, a deliberate choice to avoid the spotlight and the risks that come with it. And you see it in their redundant systems, multiple security teams, backup power sources, and contingency plans for every conceivable crisis. This isn't because they're weak or living in fear. It's because they understand that surprise is the true enemy. Surprise forces speed. Speed destroys judgment. And judgment is the most expensive asset they own. Every layer of protection is a layer of time, a buffer that allows for calm, deliberate decision-making when the world is in chaos. Wealth doesn't eliminate fear. It refines it. It transforms the raw fear of survival into a sophisticated, strategic fear of losing control. The rich don't seek excitement in the way most people do. They seek calm, control, and predictability. They want a world that is orderly, where risks are known and managed, and where the future unfolds according to their plans. Because in that calm, controlled environment, that's where wealth survives. That's where power is maintained. The ultimate luxury isn't a yacht or a private jet. It's the ability to sleep at night, knowing you've controlled for every variable you possibly can. This channel explores the hidden psychological costs of money and power. Welcome to RichNerve.